Today's video is going to be a little bit different. We are now over 5,250 kills into this fallow grind with no great one fallow to be found, but I wanted to do a little bit of practicing with the hawk edge bow for whenever we do find a great one. I find that a lot of great ones get messed up by someone using a weapon that they really haven't practiced with, and I think it's so important to practice with the weapon that you intend to take your great one with. So we're going to be fallow grinding today, and whenever we find anything special, a rare, a potential diamond, something like that, we're going to take it with the bow. In the process, I've been talking about a number of pretty cool kills that have come from this fallow grind on streams lately, and I haven't been able to fit them into a video. I think this will be a good format to do that in. So we've got our first level 5 of the day, and I'm pretty sure he should be like a mid 250s diamond, 230 to 271, but fairly wide set, and he's in a bit of an odd spot, so we're going to sneak down here and try to get him. And I think, frankly, if we can get into position to make this shot, we should be able to pull off just about anything. He is at the far end of this little peninsula down here, and the wind is just blowing in such a direction that there was no good direction to approach him from. I actually saw him on the last run and spooked him, and just figured we'd come back on this run and try to get a shot at him. So we'll see what he does. I would like to get to 40 meters ideally. With the potential of a shot on a great one, I probably wouldn't go for anything less than 25. But just in this case, because of the wind and where he's standing, I think 40 would work. So I'm going to say, getting right here to 40, we'll go ahead and make sure we're zeroed for that distance, crouch up and make a semi-quick shot, because he probably will notice us sooner rather than later, but that looked like it dipped right into the lungs. Okay, did not mean to hit the doe. I tried to get the level 3 buck that was standing there, but that appears to be Vital Blood, so we should have been good with that shot. And I suppose we'll take our somehow perfectly smoked fallow doe as well, double lung as it was lunging through there. As for our level 5 though, that was in fact actually a big one, 264 diamond. That, again, the angle was weird. We were uphill from him, so we shot down through the top of the lungs. And it's just things like these that I think are important. And if you are going to shoot a great one with a weapon that you don't typically use, just practice with it a little bit. I think it's so important, just make sure that there's not some kind of weird accuracy thing, maybe practice different angles like we just did. There could be all kinds of things that are really important to know when it comes down to the moment of truth, and that's why we're here doing this today. Now, I mentioned we were going to look at some cool clips from the last couple of weeks of fallow grinding, and if you've been wondering why there haven't been that many fallow deer videos, frankly, diamond fallow deer are a dime a dozen in grinds like these, and I'm not sure that making a video with a diamond fallow becomes all that interesting. However, the kills we have in this particular video are going to be pretty cool. So, unfortunately, I wasn't recording any live reaction audio for this particular fallow deer, but I decided to record it because he looked pretty good sized. He's the chocolate fur type, so obviously one of the new uncommons, and I really wanted to have it on video in case anything cool happens. So obviously we make the shot. We're going to about try to grind and get these respawns. When we go up to claim him, we see that score, 270. I couldn't believe it. A chocolate fur type 270. What this does is it gives us an opportunity to do a multi-mount with a 270 scoring fallow, that being this guy, still have the chocolate fur type, also do a white diamond, and hopefully a great one fallow in that multi-mount eventually as well. Super stoked to get that. I couldn't believe that I didn't have live audio. I just wasn't recording my microphone at the time. But an insane kill, chocolate fur type, 270 plus, and not even max weight. I think he was 99.5 kilos. Really, really crazy to run into that. And from everything we've killed in this grind, close to 50 diamonds, I don't even know how many rares, I think that's probably our best kill. So as you can see, we've already been a little bit busy at this lake, but we've got yet another level 5 fallow deer, and this is the very same run. I mentioned earlier that I wasn't sure that making fallow deer grinding videos with a couple of diamond fallow would be all that special. Level 5 fallow are just more common than diamonds of other species that we've done great one grinds for, but for our purposes today, this gives us an opportunity to basically try out the other way, in which we may attempt to take a great one with a bow. That being, attempting to call it into some sort of cover. I think this brush right here is going to give us enough cover to bring him into range, and as long as that's the case, we'll go ahead and attempt to bring him in and get him that way. It could end up presenting a potential frontal shot, we'll see, but this does cover us, so let's go ahead and get our antler rattler out. and bring him in. It has taken forever just to get him to this point, and I'm not so sure he's actually coming in. I think he could have just been trying to leave the zone, but I saw him turn there, and naturally he decided to go exactly behind our tent, but he's 34 meters away. Just if he'll step out a little bit more, and actually, we've stepped out a bit too far. Gotta get back in cover. That's definitely got his attention, but it's kind of presenting that frontal shot, and I think that might be a decent thing to practice. He's around 30. That did hit higher than I would have wanted. I think we still got a vital, but again, if anything, that kind of goes to show you want to practice stuff like this. That shot was still well below the vertebrae, and a 253 diamond, by the way. I almost forgot the score was relevant when we took that shot, but 30 meters on the dot. Gotta aim a little bit higher, but still gotta be careful not to have that shot land somewhere that we don't want it to. Now, fittingly, though, I would say very much unsurprisingly, 2 of the trophy fallow from today's video occurred at the same lake. This area up here at the inlet is just loaded with fallow. I think everybody knows this is the best lake for fallow deer and fallow deer grinding. The next one, though, I did have live audio, and as far as rare fallow go, it's definitely my favorite thus far. Well, it's no great one, but we finally have a decent albino from this grind, right about 3,000 kills in. A level 4, 186 to 227, and I think he's probably above 200. He could be at that 227 mark, but he doesn't look that big to me. So we'll start this particular spot with him, and then just try to shoot whatever else we can. That is John Felipe. We do not shoot that level 1, and some of these are shooting this way, so we'll try to maybe get some extra shots at them. Gonna be a little bit tough because I think we got here later than we should have, but definitely could be doing a lot better. There's so many bucks in here. Like, all of these coming this way are bucks. Probably that's going to be all we get. Maybe we get one extra crack at that one there. I don't know how many we ended up killing. We definitely should have gotten more, but the fact that we started off with the albino, I find that happens a lot. When I do have a particular one that I'm really trying to focus on making the shot on, whether it's a level 5 or a rare, I always find that I'm just a little slower in my follow-ups, and that probably cost us 1 or 2 and an extra second of shooting here before we fast traveled. I don't know, though. That albino is better than I thought. We've had, I think, 3 albinos now, and the biggest one has been a level 3 silver, so this is a very welcome change. He is 221, so not the max on that estimate, but pretty close. And I think by literally 2, that becomes our biggest rare fallow ever. We had a 219 piebald on this grind, still no melis this entire time, but that is one definitely that'll go into the main lodge. I've been planning on, going through some of our old diamonds that are just in random places in the lodge, and probably replacing them with some of the white variations, maybe the bigger rares we get from this grind. That one definitely is going to have a prominent place in the trophy lodge. A little, maybe interesting side note with this particular kill as well. Obviously that was our biggest albino fallow ever, and that was pretty cool. As we're going along here today and killing more and more fallow, we're approaching 5,300 total. We still have not had a single melanistic fallow in all those kills. I think that does go to show just how rare they are, and if we ever do get one, that would be something that would definitely make a video. I mean, what seems to be odds like 1 in 5,000, I do think they're probably more likely to show up than that. We've just been sort of unlucky. Still though, that one would definitely warrant its own video. On a grind that's somewhat known for producing super rares, we end up with this. A minimum weight estimate, level 2 piebald, 34 to 75 score, but I do want to try to take it out. I think it would be a hilarious addition to the Hall of Shame, and we'll try to bring it in with the bow. I think, based on where it is, it would be a kind of awkward spot in stock, so we may attempt, although it wouldn't be a great kind of indication of what a great one might do, we may attempt to call it in without any cover, because other than maybe in there, and I don't know that keeps it from running into the water, I don't see any great place to go to other than things that would take forever to crawl over to. So slight change of plans. I decided to go ahead and call him from this brush over here, and it looks like it's working perfectly fine, so he is well within range. If he'll just stop. I did not expect to be taking like a 10-meter shot, but that one has very little challenge compared to the last two. But we'll take that. And this is, I think, our first bronze rare of this grind. 75 score. Silver's 104, so not close to missing out on being a Hall of Shamer. Double lung, no problem at 10 meters. And yeah, like I said, gonna be a pretty cool little Hall of Shame edition, but I do want to bring one last clip into this video as well, and much like in the case of our chocolate 270 scoring diamond, this was one that just kind of immediately I recognized as being a pretty good sized one. Again, unfortunately I was not recording my microphone, so we'll have to go with a bit of a recap, but it was down on the peninsula, down in the southeast, and after finally making the shot, this one being a spotted fur type, I don't know that I expected very much, but we see again a 270 scoring fallow. The fact that we've now gotten, including this little tiny piebald that we just killed, two 270 plus diamond fallow. A diamond of all the variations other than of course the rares. We've got one of the tiniest rare fallow I've seen. I don't know where this great one's hiding, but hopefully he's going to show up fairly soon. And as we enter the trophy lodge, I do actually want to take a look at one more clip that frankly I had even forgotten about. It tells you how many trophy fallows show up in these grinds, but one more multi-mount edition that I think is relevant to take a peek at. Nearly 4,300 kills into this grind. I've been waiting for this the entire time. A big rack, white fur type fallow. 257 minimum, obviously a guaranteed diamond, and I think from here, we'll just go ahead and make this shot. Not gonna worry about anything else in that group because I want to go and see what that scores. I've been hoping to do a multi-mount with our biggest diamond chocolate, our biggest diamond white fur type, and hopefully a great one at some point. This will definitely be better than our, I think he was 264, small rack that was really wide set. This guy also is 264, interestingly enough, so I think he's still higher scoring. But now we finally have a big rack diamond for both. Just gotta get that great one. And that leaves us with a pretty cool looking multi-mount that's just waiting for a great one to be added to it. We've now got our 264 white variant diamond, we've got our 270 chocolate in the front, and then actually our 270 over here is sort of a placeholder, I hope, for an eventual great one. The 270 in this video was this 270.7 that's on the wall. I intend, hopefully, to get a great one in this multi-mount eventually, so I figured I'd just put the other 270 up there where I hope to eventually keep it. But just insane that we've got, you know, several 270s now from this grind, one of them being the chocolate variation. We've got our big rack white variant, just waiting on that great one to show up. But I think it was good to head out with a bow, just get a couple of fallow down with it, make sure everything's good, make sure there's not been any changes that we're not aware of that could throw us off when it comes to, hopefully, again, getting a great one with the bow. And we'll see if we can put that kind of, you know, practice to use here sooner rather than later. But anyway, that is going to do it for this video. So as always, thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you next time.